Hey guys, welcome back from spring break. We're going to hit the ground running today with information on our circles unit. But before we do that, if you would go ahead and use the note card you picked up when you came in today to complete the warm-up on the screen, that would be awesome. Just pause the video to do that, and when you're done, raise your hand and I will be there to collect it. Okay, pause the video. Alright, welcome back. I hope that warm-up went well for you, and we are going to start today with circle vocabulary. Now, as I quickly go over this vocabulary, remember that you can pause the video at any time to make sure you're getting all the definitions down or to ask questions if you get confused. The first big definition that is super easy to remember is that we have a center to our circle. And the center is the very middle of our circle that the radii will connect to. Alright? And what is a radii? Well, a radius is one radii, and it goes from the center straight to the edge of our circle. So a radii is a chord, which we'll learn that definition, or a segment, who has an endpoint on the center and an endpoint on the edge of our circle. Taking that one step further, you also know that we have something called diameter, and our diameter of the circle is any chord or segment that has two endpoints lying on the edge of the circle, such as this orange piece right here. Now those are two common definitions that you've seen a lot in your life, but one thing you may not remember or have learned yet is this green line here. And this green line is called a chord. Okay, the chord is any segment whose endpoints touch the edge of the circle. So a diameter is a chord, the green line is a chord. There are a bajillion options for which you could have a chord. Now, something really interesting that you will see is that we have now created an angle down here. And this angle is called an inscribed angle. An inscribed angle is an angle that has a vertex that touches the edge of a circle. All right, it is an angle that touches the edge of a circle. And what it does is it actually makes a very nice arc up here on the circle. Okay, now ignoring the fact that it is no longer in the shape of an arc, but you get the idea that we're talking about an angle, and the angle is down here that touches the edge of our circle and makes an arc up above like this one. This type of arc is called an intercepted arc. It is an arc that consists of endpoints that lie on the inscribed angle. So it's specific to the arc made by an inscribed angle. As we move on, we've got two more very specific pieces of information that we need to discuss. The first one is a secant line, and the secant line is this blue one over here. The second is going to be a tangent line, and it's that purple one over here. Now, what do you notice is different between the blue line and the purple line? Yes, I hope you notice that it's the amount of times that those lines touch the circle. Alright, so I'm going to start with the secant line. The secant line passes through a circle twice. It could also be a segment or a ray, but more often than not, it's a line, and it touches the circle at 2 points. A tangent, on the other hand, only touches the circle once. And the location that it touches, which is in our case right here, is called the point of tangency. At this point, you should be putting your pipe cleaner through the hole on your plate that we created, and that's going to represent your tangent line. The very last thing we need to discuss before moving on is a central angle, and the key word once again is center. So a central angle is any angle whose vertex is the center of your circle. Remember, if you need to take a moment right now to pause the video and make sure you have all the definitions down, that's great. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I can come over and help you. as we move on, we're now going to talk about arcs and go a little more specifically into those definitions. So, first of all, a semicircle is a type of arc whose endpoints are the diameter. So we have a semicircle right here, and we know it's a semicircle because the endpoints are on the diameter. Alright, so it's half of our circle. We have another type of arc, and we call that arc a minor arc if it is less than 180 degrees. So if we have an arc like this blue arc, it is a minor arc, an arc whose points are on or in the interior of a central angle. Alright, so remember, the central angle is any angle at the vertex whose vertex meets at the center. Alright, the last thing we have is a major arc, and a major arc is more than 180 degrees. So it would be, for example, more than our semicircle. So that gray line is a major arc. We have three more definitions that you need to know. First of all, we've got circles, all right? And so we're going to give three just brief information about circles today. We'll start with these circles that kind of look like a bullseye, and they are called concentric circles, all right? Coplanar circles with the same center. So you will notice if I get a line and make a radius that both of these radii share the same center. Now these next circles, on the other hand, are both the same color, and that was to help you understand that they had the exact same radius. And so two circles that have the same or congruent radii are called congruent circles. Alright, in this last case, we have two coplanar circles that intersect at one point, and that should give it away that those are going to be tangent circles, because we talked about meeting at one point. That's when we use that word tangent. So remember, if you need to pause this video to get those definitions or raise your hand if you have any questions, let me know. But at this moment, we have done all the vocabulary, so you can move on to the practice, and that's going to be a good test of if you understand what all this information means. So go ahead and get started on that, and let me know if you have any problems. Thanks for hanging with us, and I hope your paper plate looks super awesome. See you on the flip side.